Imagine a time before history was written down, a time when the story of humanity was told only in whispers, carried on the wind. Then, something extraordinary happened. In the grand cosmic calendar of our planet, a new light flickered into existence. This wasn't the light of a distant star, but the dawn of human civilization itself. It began with a people called the Sumerians. They were the original architects of our shared human story, the first to build cities, the first to write, the first to gaze at the heavens and try to record its secrets. To understand them is to understand the very first chapter of who we are. Our journey takes us to a land nestled between two great rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates. A place the ancient Greeks would later call Mesopotamia, meaning the land between the rivers. Today, we know this region as modern-day Iraq. More than 6,000 years ago, this fertile crescent was a cradle, nurturing a revolutionary idea. Here, hunter-gatherers decided to stay. They learned to work the land, to predict the seasons, and to build permanent homes. This wasn't just a new way to live, it was the birth of an entirely new kind of human experience. It was the gift of the rivers. Each year they would flood, leaving behind a rich, dark layer of silt. This soil was incredibly fertile, a perfect medium for growing crops like barley wheat. The Sumerians learned to harness this natural cycle. They dug canals, intricate networks that acted like arteries, carrying life-giving water to their fields. This agricultural surplus was the fuel for their revolution. For the first time, not everyone had to be a farmer. People could become builders, priests, artists, and thinkers. This surplus of food was a surplus of time to invent, to create, and to dream. And so, we invite you to step aboard our ship of the imagination. Let's travel back in time, across the millennia, to this sun-drenched land. We will walk the streets of the world's first cities, listen to the scratching of a stylus on wet clay, and gaze up at the towering temples that tried to touch the heavens. The Sumerians may be long gone, their civilization turned to dust, but their ideas are all around us. They are encoded in our laws, our stories, our concept of time, and our enduring quest for knowledge. They were the pioneers, the first to light the torch of civilization, a flame that we still carry today. Humans lived in small, scattered villages, but the Sumerians did something unprecedented. They gathered thousands of people together to live in one place, protected by massive walls. They built Uruk, Eridu, the world's first true urban centers. These weren't just overgrown villages, they were complex organisms. They had organized governments, social structures, bustling marketplaces. A city is more than a collection of buildings, it's a crucible for ideas. It's where different minds meet and innovate. The city was perhaps Sumer's greatest invention, but how do you manage a city? How do you keep track of trade, taxes, harvests? You need a way to record information. The Sumerians solved this problem. They invented writing. It started with pictures, a head of barley, a jar of oil. Over time, those pictographs evolved into wedge-shaped marks pressed into wet clay. For the first time, knowledge could be preserved across generations. History itself begins here, with these clay tablets. Think about the power of this invention. A thought could now travel across space and time. A king's decree, a merchant's ledger, a poet's epic tale, immortalized in clay. These tablets tell us about laws, fears, their view of the cosmos. Time capsules, letting us listen to people 5,000 years ago. Writing enabled complex administration, formal laws, the birth of literature. It was the software running the hardware of their cities. And then there's the wheel, an invention we take for granted, but once absent. The Sumerians first used it for pottery, the potter's wheel. Mass production of ceramic containers, storing food and water. Soon the wheel was turned on its side and attached to a cart. Suddenly, the world got smaller. Writing. The wheel. The Sumerians laid down the blueprints for the modern world. What was it like to be a Sumerian? Let's zoom in from the grand scale of history to the intimate details of a single day. Most people were farmers, their lives governed by the rhythm of the seasons and the flow of the rivers. They lived in simple rectangular houses made from sun-baked mud bricks with flat roofs where they could sleep during the hot summer nights. Their diet was based on the fruits of their labor. Bread made from barley, a nutritious beer that was a staple for all ages, and vegetables like onions, garlic, and lentils. Life was a constant negotiation with the natural world, planting, irrigating, harvesting. But not everyone worked the fields.